And we have last question, and I really enjoyed this one. It comes from Reddit, and it asks, is a smaller slice of the pie with a big competitor worth it? To give some context on this, he's been offering a service to students at his school, and there is a much larger company that can come in and squash him. And so he's asking, is it worth trying to build a business where there's lots of competition in the space? Look, unless you're, Peter Thiel talks about in 0 to 1 starting a business that no one else is starting. So what's the belief that you have that is rare, that no one else agrees with, or that 99% of the market disagrees with you with? If you're starting a business like that, you're not going to have competition, which is great, but it's not realistic unless you're one of these very extraordinary people. And if you are, I don't think that you're asking this question. Not to razz you, so hopefully that wasn't too mean. So yes, it's worth starting out in a competitive market. But you've got to think of it in a different way. You've got to think about, how do you own a sub niche of that market? How do you serve a small market very well and allow it to grow naturally? Everybody looks at Amazon today. Amazon was a bookstore. I mean, they were the largest bookstore. And yes, Jeff Bezos had the dream of selling everything to everyone, but he started owning a single market. He was competing against eBay. He was competing against these larger companies. When he started, he was competing against Barnes & Noble. Barnes & Noble filed a lawsuit against Amazon 3 days before they IPO'd, saying that it was wrong of Amazon to call them a bookstore because they were not a bookstore. They were a book broker. So when you're starting somewhere that has a big competitor in the space, find out who they're not serving well and how you can serve them better, and then allow it to grow naturally. So to answer your question, yes, it's worth it as long as you have a unique portion of the market that you can serve better than anybody else. And by better, it needs to be an order of magnitude better. It needs to be 10x better. So you're not just coming in and serving someone a little bit better. They need to desperately want your service or your product, whatever that be. But yeah, totally worth it. You're not going to find a industry worth being in that doesn't have competition. So you can do that.